Yo, this is Teddy, Caravan Film Crews. Like I said, this is not going to be the most glamorous YouTube channel, especially for videos. You can check out our other channel if you like to see the work we do, but this is just strictly biz dev. That's it. And today I'd like to talk about pricing. I know that there are a lot of videographers and photographers out there that want to get their particular rate for doing the work that they do. However, and that works great if you've got your day job that you work full time, takes care of your bills, and you're doing photography and videography on the side. Man, awesome, dude. But for those of you that want to do video full time, I don't know how else you are gonna make it other than being very flexible in the pricing that you give. And I'll tell you about how you can give a discount without letting people know that they, while still letting people know that they got a tremendous value. But if nobody's willing to pay the price that you're asking for, then who cares? I think a lot of people who are pretty decent at whatever they do, charge about $100 an hour, maybe more. But if nobody's willing to pay that, dude, I mean, who cares that you charge $100 an hour if nobody's paying you that $100 an hour? It's nice to get, and obviously you probably deserve to get the $100 an hour. But if nobody's paying it, it's absolutely pointless. And I think that when you're starting out building your videography or photography company, one tidbit that really helped me out that I learned from Aaron Kiro at Braille Skateboarding, one tidbit I learned was make yourself known. Make yourself known. You need more gigs, then more people need to know about you. And there's a lot of ways to do it, but I think one of the easiest ways to do it is what Gary Vee said, which I implemented as well, and that is, it's going down in the DMs. Look that up, Gary Vee. I forgot what episode it is, but his tip that he gave was go on Instagram, find the ideal client or influencer or whatever you're looking for. If there's a circle or market you're trying to tap into, find that kind of person. Let's say you want to do a lot more government work. You might want to hit up partnerships that certain districts have, or certain, main avenues, main veins of cities have. Or you might want to hit up, nonprofits that work closely with government institutions or the government institutions themselves, and offer them to do free video work. And like I said, if you have your part-time job and you have your fee and your time is valuable and blah, 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 man, more power to you. This is not for you. If you're trying to make it so that you have an influx of business coming in and you don't have to worry about it, dude, make yourself known. Make yourself known. However you got to do it, man. Make sure people know you're out there. I've done stuff for the Have a Hard Foundation for free. I've done, a bunch of stuff, man, like hella stuff. I've done some free stuff for the Invictus Foundation, and, they pay me too, but I give them a super discount, but I'm working with them to get their stuff going because I really believe in that foundation. Awesome foundation. Check them out on YouTube. Check out Coach V. It's his foundation, and but by working with them, people get to know who I am, people get to see my work, and helps me to make myself known. And there's a lot of ways you could do it. You want to do more weddings, you want to make yourself known in that industry, hit up wedding planners, hit up decorators, hit up wedding cake makers, hit up, if you do photography and you want to break into that market, hit up videographers, see if they have a client that's on deck right now that is in need of a photographer. Tell them you'll do it for free or you'll do it for super cheap. If you do video and you are trying to get into doing more videos, hit up photographers that, you know, and tell them you'll do a free video for a client that they got, man. Just do it. Like, get out there and make yourself known. Get people to know what it's like to work with you, and you know, that's it. I mean, you know, after that, like, people will hit you up if you do great work. And I guarantee the reason why you're not getting enough work is because not only are you not making yourself known, or you need to make yourself known, but your portfolio just might not be that strong, dude. Your portfolio just might not be that strong. And you need to do more gigs of that kind in a strong way, you know, in order to build your portfolio. Could you wait until people pay you to do whatever it is that you need to do? Sure. Are you going to get the price that you want? Probably not. You're still not going to get it, you know. And you know, when we're starting out doing wedding videos, I had to tell, you know, the guys that I work with that, hey, look, I'm really going hard in this wedding market. We're gonna book more weddings. We're doing a lot more promos, and we're reaching out to a lot more people and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna be able to pay you what you want or you deserve for the wedding that we're gonna do, and it's gonna be like that for a while. But I'm gonna try to get a lot of gigs. And so if you're down to work, we can build this super strong portfolio. You guys can use it to sell weddings on your end. But it would, you know, as Caravan, we're going to be using it to build our reel, build our portfolio, and then in the future, like, begin to lock in a lot more gigs at the price that we want. And that's it. And that's it. And that's all. If you can get people to commit to that, dude, you're good. You have that sewn up. And that's the thing that will separate people who do this part-time with people who do this full-time. I guarantee you, if you got your part-time job and you want to do this full-time, I guarantee there's never going to be a good time for you to let go of the money that you know you're going to get the money you don't know that you're going to get. There's never going to be a perfect time to do it. There's never going to be an ideal time. It's always going to be a gamble. It's always going to be a leap of faith for you to do that. And there's no other way around it, man. Like, that's just how it goes. It's how it is. And so, you know, you're gonna have to step out on faith to try to make it happen, period. But if that's what you want to do, then you're gonna need to humble yourself at the same time, and you're gonna need to do work that is less than what you're getting paid for, or the work that you're not gonna be getting paid for at all. And especially if you don't have the portfolio for it, especially if you don't have the connections and the resources. I hit up this one partnership in the DM, and, you know, she called me back and she was like, a lot of people are pitching us for this type of work, and, you know, is this what this kind of thing is? I said, nope, this is completely free, no strings attached. And, you know, I'd like to do more, a wider variety of work. And so that's why I'm reaching out to you. Maybe you guys have some work for us to do that can help us, you know, just kind of make new videos of different kinds of projects. And she was like, great, no brainer. Yeah, we would love for you to do this stuff. And then that led to, like, some more stuff. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's free stuff that helps you get yourself out there, that makes yourself known to people. And when more people know you, then you have a higher rate of getting booked for gigs. I don't know what it's like at, you know, the a couple $100,000 a year level, or the $500,000 a year level, or the $1 million a year level. But if you're just trying to cover your bills right now and be able to do what you love, this is part of the territory. This is one of the things that kind of has to happen. But a way for you to be able to give those discounts while still letting people know that your time and your skill set and the equipment that you have is very valuable, is to send them an invoice. Not an invoice where they have to pay it, but an invoice or an invoice where they do have to pay it, but it's heavily discounted. But in your invoice, you're going to itemize the things that you could have charged for, and the normal rate that you have in it and the discount that you gave. And when you do those things, people understand like, oh wow, this really cost, $2,500, but I'm only paying like $700 for it. Super deal. Or, especially if it's a nonprofit, you can charge whatever you would normally charge and then write off whatever they didn't pay you on your taxes if you have a corporation. You can get that in-kind donation letter from them, which they draft all the time, and then you send that in, or you have that for your records, and you just declare on your taxes that you did so much work, and that can really help you save a lot of money or have the government owe you something at the end of it. But either way, you're going to make yourself known. And even if like nothing comes from that particular situation or that particular gig, one thing that you do have is something strong to add to your reel. Dude, I hate this mentality that photographers and videographers have. You're already going to take the time to go out somewhere to film. It's going to have to get cut up. Just because they're not paying you the full amount of what you would want to get doesn't mean that you do the amount of work that they're paying for. Like, that's a dumb mentality. That kind of mentality will absolutely kill your business. You don't want to get any more gigs, do that kind of stuff. Do that. You'll never get gigs from those people. Why? Because you will do half-ass work. It's going to look shitty because you don't care, right? And everybody that sees that video is never going to hear the explanation of, oh, well, I only paid this much for it. I got a super deal. So it's all right that it's not up to par, especially if you got the equipment that makes things look good, like you're shooting on a nice camera, you got a nice set of lenses, you got rigs to make it happen and all that. Like, dude, if you have all that and you're like halfway there, I think there's like a law of what is it, like the law of the uncanny or something like that. It really refers to robotics, where people are willing to accept how a robot looks if it looks like a robot, like a regular rinky-dink robot. They're kind of amazed that something that looks crappy actually came out pretty good, right? Their level of expectation isn't so high. But when you're trying to make a robot that looks like something that's real, like a real human, that's when, if it's not absolutely perfect, people think it's garbage because they're super freaked out by it. And that, I would apply that same mentality to doing video, especially when you're starting out. Like, if you have the equipment to do a great job, but you do a half-ass job, people will call it trash because it looks like it could have been way better, but you didn't know what you were doing. The person who did it didn't do it right. And so that's something to take into consideration. If you're going to do anything, whether you got paid, $5,000 or you got paid $5 or you got paid 5 cents, you should do it at the highest level that you can possibly get it done at, because nobody who sees that video is going to be able to get the excuse of, they didn't pay enough, or it was, so-and-so and such conditions or whatever. Like, nobody's going to be able to hear that stuff. They're just going to see your video based on, did you do a good job or did you not do a good job? And, if you want to get more gigs, that's something you're going to have to do, is more work, whether you get paid or not, and better work, and add to your reel. If I don't care how much you get paid, if you cannot add whatever you just did to a reel to be able to show somebody else, like if you're not proud enough to show somebody what you did, it's worthless. It was worthless. It was no good. Because you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to go and find another gig to replace that video on your like reel of things to show people. I don't know if you're, if I'm communicating that right, but you're going to have to get stronger work elsewhere to make up for the fact that that work wasn't strong. So, you know, if there's not a whole lot of tutorial courses that are coming across your inbox, and you shot one for somebody, but you know, because they didn't pay that much, you did a crappy job, and you wouldn't show anybody that, then the next time somebody reaches out for a tutorial thing, you are not going to show that, and you don't have another one to show, or maybe you have like one other one to show, and you're in the same boat you were in before you shot the last one. You just don't have, I mean, you just got paid a little bit more, and that money comes and goes, dude. Money is, in this business, when you're starting out, your money gets blown all the time on equipment, on marketing, or like all kinds of stuff, man. You may get bogged down with gigs, and you got a ton of projects that are backlogged, and you got to pay an editor that you know to catch you up on these projects so that you're not super late, or if you're late already, you know, that you actually deliver something to the client. That money is going to get spent. So money is really not what you're after. It's something that you have to have, but the money is going to come if you have a strong reel and you're willing to make yourself known. You do those two things, because when people hit you up and they say, hey, I saw what you did for so-and-so, can you do this? And you're able to show, I got 2 to 3 projects that look awesome, and yeah, prove that I can do it. Now what? They're going to have some kind of budget, and they're going to pay you. And, you know, that's it. That's the end of it. You're going to get paid now. If you had to make $4,000 a month and you got paid $500 for a project, you only got to get paid $3,500. You only got to hustle up that much after that. And if somebody pays you $1,000 to do a wedding, and then, you know, you get an $800 event coverage or whatever, like, you start piecing these up together throughout the month, you're making rent, you're paying your bills, you're stashing away some, you're buying some equipment, and everything's going great. But do it like that's just what it's going to take, man. You know, I couldn't see a time, even like, I just couldn't see it, but even on like $1 million a year in gross revenue level, you're still going to be doing stuff for free. There's still going to be like a foundation out in Albuquerque, New Mexico, you may want to fly out to and cover, because, you know, billionaires are covering it and throwing it, and you want to get into that circle, you want to start working with them, dude. Hell yeah, I will cash out to go and do that one for sure, you know. And I'll pay for my team to go out there and everything. And that's another thing, like, if I really don't have the money and I want to get it done, before I can say yes, I'm asking my team if they're down to ride with me, and I let them know the whole deal. This is what's happening. This is why there's no money for it. If you can do it, great. If you can't do it, great. I mean, I'm not tripping. I totally understand. And if I did get some money for it and I have my team coming out, then guess what? I'm working for free, man. I'm working for free. As a CEO, as the team leader, as the owner of the company, as the person that is running the show, dude, you are taking all of the hits. No one else is taking those hits. You're taking it. All right? Get out of this mentality that, you know, anybody works for you. When you're the CEO, when you run the show, when you're collecting the checks and cutting them out for everybody, you serve everybody else. You serve everybody else. Your shooters need to be able, or your editors or whatever, need to be able to come to you and say, hey, Teddy, I'm like $500 short on rent this month, and dude, I really need to make some money. You know, is there any way you can throw me some gigs or anything I can do? Man, that's on you now. That's your responsibility to go out and find $500 for your team member, because you got to take care of them, man. Everybody's a human being. You know, this idea that your employee is like some number on your ledger is crazy, man. It's crazy. You're not going to keep anybody like that. And anything you teach them, they're going to take with them somewhere else intentionally. Like, they're going to already have that in their mind from day one. You're, what's it called? There's going to be no incentive for them to market you. You're going to make it like a hell of a place for them to work, and they're going to be finding any kind of way they can to replace the income that you're giving them. You got to take on the responsibility of, of them and take care of them. It is what it is. That's just how it goes, man. But yeah, so I know this video is super long, and I can go on and on about this kind of stuff, but I hope this was helpful, and I hope you got something out of it, and I hope that it can help you make better decisions in terms of how you go about handling your business. So anyway, follow us on social media. Everything is at Caravan Film Crews. Like I said, this is just a biz dev channel. Hopefully you can find our other stuff on our YouTube channel, our real YouTube channel, or our alternative YouTube channel where we have our pretty stuff. But yeah, if you're looking for more tips, tricks, tidbits, advice, that kind of thing on how to get your video business or photography business off the ground, stay tuned, subscribe. Peace.